If you're a fan of the bands Poison the Well, Martyr AD, and the Black Dahlia Murder, then you should check out the band Cry for Silence. Cry for Silence were a metalcore band from Watford, UK. In the time they were a band, they released 3 EPs and 1 full-length record. The band were from the incredible Hertfordshire scene, as I've mentioned here before. The Trailblazers' sixth really solidified a metal scene that included bands like Aconite Thrill, Incoherence, and of course, Cry for Silence. In early 2001, Cry for Silence released their debut record, Through the Precious Words, and it really was an early UK metalcore staple. Off the back of this demo, Cry for Silence secured tours with The Hope Conspiracy, Boys Night Out, and From Autumn to Ashes, and many more. In the summer of 2003, Cry for Silence would return to the studio to record a 5-track EP called The Longest Day. There were no plans to officially release this EP, only really to promote the current sound of the band, which was way more melodic. However, The Longest Day EP would be officially released through Mighty Atom Records in October 2004. In the 8 years that they were together, Cry for Silence have been cited as influences by many bands, most of them coming from Hertfordshire, including Your Demise, Gallows, and Enter Shikari. After 3 years of relentless touring and recording, Cry for Silence's debut full-length, The Glorious Dead, was released in late 2007 via Visible Noise Records. And so by the time the full-length had come out, they weren't really a metalcore band anymore, they were way more of a metal band by this point. However, the band had decided to call it quits and ended up breaking up soon after their debut album had come out. Now, will Cry for Silence ever reunite? Probably not, but they were incredibly important for the time and they were really influential in the scene as well. Now, whatever happened to the other members of Cry for Silence? I mean, most went on to join other bands. Obviously, there is an elephant-sized elephant in the room because one of those members went on to join a band I think that we all know. You know, they are famous for covering their faces. There's a lot of them. They all wear similar clothes. I think you know the band that I'm talking about. You know? Oh, and also VMAN joined Slipknot. However, if you'd like to know more about how VMAN originally joined Slipknot, he does a really great interview with Craig Reynolds on the DOWNBEAT podcast years ago, in which he tells the whole story. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to listen to that. Like, I had no idea, for example, that Richie Beckett, who was in Shaped by Fate, designed one of his original masks. Mad. As of this recording, Cry for Silence only has 72 monthly listeners on Spotify. However, I will say the only thing that's on their Spotify is their full length they did with Visible Noise. So if you'd like to hear any of their previous material, you'll have to look further afield. But do yourself a favour and go listen to Cry for Silence right now.